I think today architecture is going under a global crisis, including both social, environmental problems. I think an architect in this situation, in this crisis situation, has to rethink about how to engage with different disciplines, how to engage with people, and what is the meaning of the authorship of the profession, and when we lost it, and why we want to lose it, and how we can get out of our clothes and just be a kind of individual in society. I mean, be a kind of anonymous person, so that we can design together and think about the future together. I think this is the main point for architecture. I mean, we have to rethink about changing roles, changing economies, transformations, and how to take position and where to be in this very slippery condition. In my country, it's Turkey, the position of, since the last 10 or 15 years, architects have been more engaged with social issues, with more environmental issues, and they are part of a great collaborative network within Europe and within the world. So they are really aware of what they are working with and whom they are working with. So I think that it is one of the most important points when we begin asking questions, criticizing everything around us. I think this is the main position of architecture. But as an architect in Turkey, I think it's a really risky position because of the current changes, current trends, and changing economies, changing policies. You have to choose. You seem to choose one side. Because of the strict policies that are surrounding you. So you have to be really aware of your environment and take position of whether you are part of this greater action, or just get involved into your daily routines, just working on your area. So I think there are too many changes now, and we really have to be socially aware of these different changes that are affecting everyone in the country. Actually, I didn't go to Venice Biennale this year, and I don't have actually much idea about. I think in the greater, when we think in wide terms, in the European context, I think the common denominator is the common factor that define or makes changes in architecture is how to connect the state of a city or a country, both economically and politically, within different regions, within different networks in the whole global network, let's say. For example, combining peripheries and historical stickers is one, I think, a great issue about economically, and how to combine the rural and the planned urban issue is another thing. So I think it's about forming a kind of network. But in the States, the cities and the countries are becoming more competitive because of this network. So maybe, and even for both for European context and Balkan region, I think under the urban transformation processes, architects have to rethink about this, how to transform these traditional or coming patterns and then sew them into a global or this network pattern. So I think there has to be a kind of link between history and the future that we have to, and the Balkan regions have to rethink, I guess. I think networking is not only about just connecting or sharing ideas, but it's about coming together without a seamless collaboration to discuss, to understand what is going on and what is transforming in our societies today. And I think in real life problems, we have to lose our profession. We have to think I don't want to say about it that it's empathetically, but we have to place ourselves in the eyes of other disciplines so that it becomes something more transdisciplinary, and so that we can, we do not want to aim just to come to a concrete solution, come to a concrete end, but the process of getting together and losing that defined, bordered limitations is something really important in facing real-life problems today, like economical problems, like environmental problems, or just innovative researches. So I think that's the main point, how we connect each other and how we lose our authorship or technocratic ways of dealing with our issues. I would say that it is, of course, economically, because we cannot think of architecture as something that's out of economical, political, and social context. So I think within this context, I think it's about networking, maybe I should say, linking with the previous question. The state of coming together, the state of discussing together, can define the problems that we are going to face tomorrow. So I think it's about that mutual intersection. I think it's a very hard question. Future architecture is something defined, that's nothing there. So we have to go and find and define that borders, because societies are changing, people are changing, economy is changing, something is really dying. The systems are transforming everything, every physical and visible and invisible aspects of urban life today, and even rural life. So I think future architecture is not only about technology, not only about social, not only about political, but a combination of these really different issues. But I think we as architects are really have been apart from other disciplines, which is the main situation, which is one of the main problems that we are facing today. We have been lost in our own limitations and borders, and we have to get out of this closed doors in order to find what is there and what is not there. So the future architecture is about rethinking, I think, but not in fashionable words. Because everything has become part of this trendy sort of and similar patterns, similar transformations, similar forms of making, similar forms of methodologies. So I think it is not something defined, and so that's, I think, we as young architects are in the very critical point, because everything is now ambiguous, unpredictable. So we have to define those ambiguities in different places, in different geographies and political contexts in the world.